Hey guys, let's talk about tonight's episode of The Walking Dead. And there it is, guys. It took us 4 episodes and 10 seconds to find out that Glenn is, in fact, alive. And it was that dreaded thing that I figured they would do, which was have it be him like hiding under the garbage can until there was a moment where he could get himself out. Now, am I a little disappointed? Yes, a little bit, because, I thought it would have been really ballsy for the show to have killed off Glenn, but they didn't, and we've waited for 4 episodes to find out the truth, and here it is. So, of course, he hides under the garbage can, he gets out, he sees Enid. Now, this whole stuff between him and Eden in this episode, I don't know, it was just a little boring for me. I mean, Glenn just survived a horrific moment, and I felt like we spent so much time with him talking to Enid, convincing her to not give up and just stick with it. I'm like, oh my God, enough of this. Like, where's the urgency in Glenn to get back home? I mean, he kept talking about his wife. He kept talking about wanting to get back to Alexandra. But the movements that were going on were just way too slow. The conversations were a little too repetitive. And I just didn't love it. For all the stuff that we've been waiting for with Glenn, I felt like him being stuck with Enid in this episode was just okay. But it is what it is. And now they are close to home, as you saw at the end of the episode when they released the green balloons. Of course, Maggie sees this and she has hope that that's a sign from Glenn. Everybody at home pretty much sees the balloons flying in the air, and I'm sure that they realize that that is the smoke rising from the building that was supposed to be what Glenn was supposed to do. So all throughout the episode, we kept seeing that the watchtower was crumbling. There were pieces, wood pieces that were falling, and you just know that it was going to be a matter of time before it was going to tilt over and come crashing down, which was going to open up the floodgates for all the zombies to get into Alexandria, and that is exactly what happened. Now, is it just me, or was that not very reminiscent of Glenn's slow motion fall into the horde of zombies when we all thought he was going to die? And this was a very slow motion as the watchtower just falls over onto the fence and literally just goes boom. It was pretty awesome to see that and just know what's going to happen in next week's episode. We're right back at how we were in the first episode with, Rick and them trying to execute a plan to get this horde of zombies away from Alexandria, and then all hell breaking loose, and then the zombies veering off course. So that intensity in that moment, is about to happen come next episode, which is really cool. The only thing again, here... So back when, I binged watched through this season of this series, and I remember talking to some people and they were like, oh, Carl was like a little sociopath. They thought he was kind of crazy. And I was like, I never really got that vibe from him. I got that he was a young kid. He was thrust into this life. He had to do what he had to do to survive, and he just went with the flow. Yeah, he was a brat, but I never really thought he was a sociopath. Now, Ron, on the other hand, yeah. So all this, Rick teaching him how to shoot the gun and all this, I was like, this is going to come back to bite you guys big time. And that scene at the end, well, obviously when he distracts the woman who's guarding the pantry and he gets in there and gets the bullets, you just knew that that was going to happen. When he was all, oh, maybe we could get the silencer, maybe we could do this. I'm like, Rick, you are opening up the worst floodgates ever with this kid. He does not like you. He does not like your son. Now you're giving him a weapon. Then you're going to tell him, no, don't use the bullets. Of course he's going to go get bullets. Like, come on. He hates you. So what does he do? He gets the bullets. And then that scene right near the end as he's following behind Carl. I mean, is he going to shoot him? Would he have shot him if the tower didn't come crashing down? God only knows, but who knows what he's still gonna do. He might take this moment in chaos to still try to kill Carl. I mean, oh my goodness, that was pretty awesome. And then I finally liked that scene where we had Carol, Rick, and Michonne in a room talking to Morgan, and they're asking him why didn't he kill the walkers when they were there. And I like that conversation that they had. And I love that before that, when that conversation started, you just saw the stick of Michonne's katana. And I was like, finally, she's going to be in this scene. So when they had the shot of Carol and then they had the shot of Michonne. I'm like, thank God. Like, it's been too long. I've not seen any scenes with Rick and Michonne since, even the first episode, I mean, it's ridiculous. And we're already at episode like 7. So yeah, not impressed with that. And then of course they had that moment earlier when they were on, or later when they were on the balcony and they were talking. And I mean, come on, the chemistry between those two is just ridiculous. And so when she's like, listen, we have a moment right now where we're, you know, every moment is a moment that we could be doing something. And so when she's trying to tell him, don't not tell the residents of Alexandria what the plan is, because we're all supposed to be working together as a team here. And I like that. She's trying to remind him it can't just be about us. We have to all work together. And that scene, again, is Michonne getting through to Rick, like, because that is his center, period. So I like that scene, and I like the scene that they had with Morgan. And Morgan still hasn't told them that he has a wolf locked up somewhere. But of course, Carol uses her spidey sense and follows him and the nurse or acting doctor to where they're going, and she confronts Morgan and she's like, who do you have locked down there? So I thought that was pretty awesome too, that Carol, even though she's playing, you know, Miss Susie Housemaker still, which I don't really understand why, well, maybe she's not, but she's just taking care of Judith. You know, she follows Morgan because she knows Morgan is up to something. So I like that scene. Yeah, lots of little storylines going on. We had some good stuff with Rosita at the beginning, some stuff with Tara, just little bits and pieces here. We even had stuff with Gabriel when he's trying to put up like a prayer circle flyers, and Rick just walks by and tears it down. And Rick's like, I ain't got time for you, okay? And I love that, because even though Morgan betrayed them, I think he's trying his best to make amends, but it's just too funny. So yes, we had a lot of Glenn with Eden, and then, you know, they're just outside Alexandria, and they see the horde there, so now they've got to try to figure out a way to get in there. And now with the wall breaking down, I mean, it is going to be complete madness. I like seeing that other guy, sorry, I don't know the name of him, helping Rick put up barriers to still try to help protect the walls. But as we know, that's not going to help very much. And then we had Spencer doing his own one-man show trying to get across. But again, I mean, I get it. He was trying to help people, but, you know, dumb move. Trying to scale on some little rope, and then he almost gets chomped on by all the zombies. Nice idea, bad execution. So yeah, we've got a lot of moving parts coming up in the next episode, which is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see what's going to happen on the winter finale episode. Okay, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next week.